Hey guys, it's Dynamite, and today we're predicting who's going to win every game in the 2024 NFL playoffs. And remember, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I might be a little bit biased. First off, we got the Steelers versus the Bills, and obviously one of these teams is just much better, and we all know who it is. The Steelers are going to win this one and move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. I'm not going to pick the Bills to win a playoff game as a Dolphins fan. That's just not in my blood. That's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. The next matchup is the Dolphins versus the Chiefs on Peacock. And as a Dolphins fan, I really want to pick the Dolphins to win. But listen to this. The only game that's on an exclusive streaming service is the Chiefs game, with all the Taylor Swift fans watching. Do you really think that the NFL referees are going to let the Chiefs be eliminated in the first round and lose out on billions of dollars from the NFL? Do you really think that's going to happen? I don't, alright? So the Chiefs are going to move on because of Taylor Swift. I don't actually think the NFL's rigged, but there's no way they let Taylor Swift fans be eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. And then for the Browns-Texans game, I'm going to say the Browns are going to win. I think the defense is just going to overpower C.J. Stroud. I do like C.J. Stroud, and I hope the Texans win, but I do think the Browns are going to pull it out. And then the Browns-Chiefs game, I think that the Browns are going to pull it out. The Chiefs' offense has not been the same. Joe Flacco, for some reason, decided he wanted to be the best quarterback in the league. I don't know what got into him, but he's been an absolute beast lately, so I think the Browns are going to beat the Chiefs in the divisional round. And in the Steelers-Ravens game, even though the Ravens might have a little bit of trouble like in the first half, like they haven't played football in a couple weeks, the Ravens are going to pull it out. They're just the much better team. The Steelers suck, even though I have them moving on against the Bills. I don't know if they actually are. But the Ravens are going to move on to the championship round. I think it'll be a pretty easy game for the Ravens. And then the Browns versus the Ravens. I think the team with the best chance to beat the Ravens is the Browns. And I think in a really close defensive game, the Browns are going to move on. I know it sounds crazy, but division rivals, Joe Flacco legacy game against his former team. I never thought I'd say the Browns are going to be in the Super Bowl, but here we are. The Browns are going to Super Bowl 58. And although sometimes I like to disrespect the Cowboys, I'm going to say the Cowboys beat the Packers in this matchup. Pretty easy game. Jordan Love is still very young, hasn't had any playoff experience, but I'm going to say the Cowboys move on. And then in the Rams-Lions game, I'm going to pick the Lions and Jared Goff to move on. Even though Stafford's coming back to Detroit, the Lions are at home. I think they're going to be able to take this game and move on to the divisional round against the Cowboys. And then the Eagles, who have been struggling, I do think they're going to be able to beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers just aren't a very good football team. Baker Mayfield might have a little bit left in him, and he might be able to push past him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers won, but I'm going to say the Eagles move on. And then when the Lions play the Cowboys, I think that Dak's going to get dumped here. This is where he has this atrocity of a game. It always happens. It's an annual thing. Dan Campbell and the Lions are moving on to the NFC Championship for the first time in maybe ever. I think the 49ers are going to overpower the Eagles. The Eagles have been just hot garbage lately, to say the least. Believe it or not, I don't know how this game's going to happen, but I want the Lions to win, so that's what's going to happen, because this is just how this YouTube channel is run. Whatever I want to happen is going to happen, basically. I think the Lions are going to move on to the Super Bowl and face the Browns in the battle of just the two most dysfunctional, just atrocious franchises in the NFL. I mean, let's see who wins it. And the winners of Super Bowl 58 in 2024 are going to be the Detroit Lions for the first time in the history of their franchise. I'd like to see them pull this one off. I hope that the Lions play the Browns. I really hope it happens. Go Lions.